You suck at judging anime, and so does everyone else, including me. Now hold on, before you raise your pitchforks and dislike the video, hear me out. I'm sure we've all experienced the same thing. We look up an anime, see that it's highly rated, and decide to give it a watch, only to find it incredibly boring. You might say to yourself, what was everyone else thinking? And begin to wonder if you're the odd one out. Later on in the day, however, you might find yourself enjoying an anime that everyone else dislikes. So who is right in this scenario? Obviously, it's you. I mean, nobody has better taste in anime than you do, except everyone else thinks the same thing. So if nobody is in the wrong, is it even possible to fairly judge anime? And importantly, why do these differences in opinion emerge in the first place? There can be countless reasons that people form and justify their opinions. If somebody said they preferred the Tokyo Ghoul anime over the manga, they could easily justify this by saying they suffered a brain injury. While such a scenario could occur, it is unlikely, as I think even after suffering a brain injury, people would still not hold this opinion. I have therefore decided to discuss the 3 more reasonable points. The first of which can be attributed to the idea of reviews and ratings themselves. A lot of the time, before watching a new anime, we will research whether it is worth watching. Whether this is on My Anime List, IMDb, or AniList, these ratings can actually affect not only our perception of a show before we watch it, but also our perception during and after it. Yet despite this, it is impossible for reviews to be a fully accurate measure of the quality of a show. Using My Anime List as an example, if a show is rated in the high 6s, we may see it as trash, but the low 7s can be seen as worth watching. This is because, for some odd reason, instead of a rating of 5 out of 10 indicating that a show is average, the number people seem to treat as average is actually around 7. The site doesn't do itself any favours with its rating descriptions either. Ratings get even more ridiculous when we factor in people who do things such as review bombing due to the fact that they cannot accept that their show is anything but number 1. I mean, look at what they did to everyone's favourite anime, Skelter Heaven. Why would they ruin the reputation of such a great show? On a real note, if anybody has seen this anime or knows why it is rated so low, comment down below. Despite all of this, we still rely on reviews because they can still be useful when deciding what to watch. If we completely ignored reviews, I might still be mindlessly watching Rent a Girlfriend, waiting for something to happen. Spoiler alert, it never does. Ratings are useful to us, but they are imperfect at the end of the day. Their imperfect nature comes from the fact that humans are the ones making them. Unfortunately, subjective motives are unable to be completely removed from reviews and ratings. This is what I would deem my second point. Things like recency bias can heavily affect how people rate shows. It is no coincidence that as this video is being filmed, 3 anime currently airing are in the top 10 highest rated anime of all time on My Anime List. Although calling Steel Ball Run an airing anime is a stretch, but let's not get the JoJo fans started because we know what happens after that. This also extends to reactionary discourse. Fans' opinions can change on an episode-to-episode basis, and nowadays it feels like every season of anime contains one of the greatest anime of all time. It has gotten to a point where you feel like you have to wait a few years before you can hear opinions that aren't being influenced by the hype or hate surrounding a show. With the only 2 options being mid or peak, it is impossible to properly judge the true nature of an anime. 1 minute, Solo Leveling is a peak show, then the next it's winning Anime of the Year over Frieren and people are calling it slop. I think everyone can admit that Sung Jin-woo has far more aura though, although not as much as the GOAT Piccolo. Anyways, the point is that fans get swept up in this atmosphere and as a result, they tend to adopt the common opinion. If you don't denounce a show everyone hates and praise one they love, then you are trying to be different. Look at how everyone crucifies someone who doesn't have Attack on Titan in their top 10. Unfortunately, opinions cannot be formed in a vacuum, and the opinions around us will inevitably affect our own. As a result, when you have personal reasons for your thoughts on an anime, you can feel as if you are an outsider when compared to the general opinion. This leads on to my final point, which we will attribute to nostalgia. There are times when the beloved show from your childhood is critiqued for its flaws. You might sit back down and decide to rewatch it. Unlike the first time, you might see that there are issues with this anime now. After finishing it, has your opinion changed? Do you now think it's a bad show? Maybe. But you might also still love it nonetheless. Sometimes, even while knowing that a show is not perfect, you may still hold it on a higher pedestal than everyone else simply because you have special feelings associated with it. Whether it was one of your first anime, whether it was the first of a genre you watched, or whether it impacted you in another way, for you, these anime can mean far more than any rating could communicate. Is Naruto objectively better than Attack on Titan? Maybe not. But Naruto can certainly be subjectively better. You can't undersell the character depth of Kiba, and of course his humble superior Akamaru after all. The point is, some fans tend to get too fixated on objectivity, forgetting that your favourite anime is special to you and not to everyone else. Your favourite anime can be My Gift Level 9999 Unlimited Gacha backstabbed in a backwater dungeon. Just make sure you have solid reasoning, as even reading out this title, which I believe is actually shorter than the light novel title, already has me exhausted. The question is then posed though, if your own subjective opinions can affect how we judge anime, can we really judge them fairly? Well, importantly, just because you can have subjective opinions about anime does not mean there is no way to objectively view things. Anime can be judged based on numerous factors. Are the characters fleshed out and well developed? Does the plot progress in a coherent and meaningful way? Is the world expanded upon? Is the dialogue engaging? And the list goes on. This can even include things like art direction, animation, sound design, pacing, and so on. The reason a lot of anime fans enjoy the same anime is not because we are some collective hive mind. To be honest though, if you openly dislike a popular anime, or even utter a word about power scaling, Goku might come for you, bro. Fans enjoy similar anime because they likely have objectively good aspects. Despite popular opinion, a show like Demon Slayer is not popular only because of its animation. You can criticize aspects of it, but you also cannot ignore how it handles things such as its characters, plot progression, fight choreography, and even its general consistency from arc to arc. You can ignore the author's stupid comment about how the powers aren't real though. The author isn't a reliable source. Generally, a person's subjective opinion aligns with a show's objective quality, but just like the way objective ratings cannot be used solely to judge an anime, neither can subjective opinions. So what is the best way to judge anime fairly? While there is no perfect solution, the best you can hope for is a mixture of the two. Maybe anime fans aren't actually terrible at judging anime, but rather they are terrible at explaining their opinions. Previously, you may have expressed that you think a popular show is bad or a hated show is good simply by stating so. Instead, you should try to explain in your own words why you hold this opinion, and perhaps it would allow for more nuanced discussions, as well as helping someone else get a look at the quality of an anime beyond a simple number. You will likely still face a lot of pushback from fans of the show though, so if all else fails, just claim you were simply rage baiting. It normally does the trick, and let's be real, it was impossible for you to validate why you think High School DxD was the greatest anime of all time anyway. In the end, I guess you aren't a terrible judge of anime after all. Was there any anime that you were surprised you ended up liking? And what's an anime you disliked despite everyone else loving it? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It would be much appreciated.